Hi everyone, this is Artemis HD bringing you another tank gameplay footage. In this video I'm going to be talking about a secret weapon that the Germans started building back in 1941 called the Churchill program. It was a secret Churchill project that only one of a kind was ever built for the German military. Who am I kidding? Okay guys, to be honest with you, yeah, this is a Captured Churchill 7. Funny thing is, I was over at sea, we captured Sea Flag on Rotterdam, and this thing was on a bridge, badly hurt, and I can hear an noise, and there was a guy behind it repairing it, and I knifed him, and in the end, the enemy team lost a tank. So once you take an enemy vehicle, it does not spawn back, so you know, we had 3 tanks in this match. We had a Sturmtiger, we had a Tiger, and a Panzer. The Panzer got killed, though. I killed it because they captured it. So ours does respawn back because it's not on the field, and theirs can't because theirs is still alive. So yeah, I did very good. I thought this Churchill would be in better hands on the German side than it would be on the Allied English side. Just to let you guys know, because it looks really beautiful with an iron cross on the back of it. Just saying. But anyway, yeah. After I killed the guy and I took the Churchill, he sent me some nasty messages, and I just laughed it off. I thought it was funny. But anyway, let's get on with the rest of the video, and let's talk about the history about the Churchill. So the history about this Churchill. The Churchill was designed by two men, Harlan and Wolf. They made the first one as the A-20. A motor company later made the A-22nd, and it was manufactured by that motor company throughout 1941 to 1945. Numbers that were built was 5,640. There were many variants. I can tell you about how much it weighs and the length of them. We're not really going to go in. It was a crew of 5, as usual other tanks. Many variants had front armor hull would be 102 meters. But the Churchill 7 and Churchill 8, this one, actually had 152 millimeter thick frontal armor. So this kind of Churchill would handle quite well head-on for the most part, against Tigers and Panthers for the most part. Though because it was so big and long, and it had the coil spring suspension, and it had a Caterpillar tracks too for moving by, and Caterpillar tracks been used since World War I, so the British were using the same style of track design from World War I. So I mean, being so slow, being so big, it was really a big target for anti-tank guns on the German team, and you know, it was also a big target for artillery in the Second World War.
They can't have a tank now. I don't think they can get a tank.
But anyway, there were a few accounts, just like ironically in the game here where I captured Churchill. In real life, a lot of the German military did capture tanks, and when they did, they either used them for training purposes or equipped them in their military. At certain panzer schools in Germany, the panzer schools were using captured French, Soviet, Polish tanks, you know, Czechoslovakian tanks as training purposes tanks, including some of their older models that they used earlier in the war. The Churchill was a crew of 5, just like normal tanks in World War II. Armament, though, let's get into the armament. First, let's start with the secondary armament. So the secondary armament features 2 coaxial machine guns, both fire 7.92mm BISA rounds, machine guns. And then the third secondary that's attached to the coaxials was a 3-inch Howitzer cannon, or cannon gun mounted in the hull. So you could just imagine having a 75mm gun with a coaxial machine gun in the turret, have one in the hull with another tank gun in it, and you have a monster. To tell you the truth, sadly, DICE didn't implement that in the Churchill in this game, and it wasn't even on the progressive like upgrade tree. And I'm not really fond of the tree design actually, because you guys could do way more better with the tank developments in this game than ever. And that's the other thing. The tanks, like I said, are beautiful. They're perfect. I love the historical accuracy that they went with. You guys, the devs went. I just want to let you guys know that one of the devs are watching. You guys did beautifully well, and I just want to say that, you know. But anyway, the main armament though. There are many main armaments from all the different, going up from Mark 1 all the way to the Mark 8s. Mark 8s had the QF 95mm mortar. The Mark 6 and 7s, this one, was equipped with the QF 75mm, common 75mm gun. And then the other Marks had lower types of guns, like 6-pounders and 2-pounders. So the 2-pounders and 6-pounders were like anti-tank rifles compared to the 75 and the 90mm mortar and the 75 gun, or the 3-inch Howitzer at that. But anyway, it had a Bedford 6-cylinder 4-stroke water-cooled horizontal exposed L-head petrol engine. It actually traveled 56 miles or 90 kilometers on its coil spring suspension. It also had, it went like 14 to 15 miles per hour, the real one, on road and off. So it was, again, very slow, very long and cumbersome tank. It was a nasty target by the German forces and their allies who actually went up against these things. They actually, some of them did see service in Africa, and, you know, the only thing I know are the light cruiser tanks, like the Valentine, the, you know, it just seems like these tanks, they had great armor, they had great firepower, it's just they were too damn slow and big, so the Germans had a field day destroying them, usually. Though they were still great tanks, they did what they did, and that was the one thing that counted on the Allies. Like England had amazing heavy tanks. It actually would be pretty cool if they can implement the TOG too in here. But that is so big, nobody wouldn't even want that in here. That actually had a 17-pounder gun on it. But anyway, sorry for the historical rants of me talking about the historical facts about this vehicle. But anyway,
well, he had that,
the one thing is I want to tell you guys is you know, once you take an enemy vehicle, you know it can't spawn. And I just want to say that World War II was very big during you know, tank development and tank advancement in designs and development, and same thing in technology in general. You know, because we learned so much after World War II, and everything got better after World War II in technology. The reason why was because Germany was so advanced, and we were like lacking behind. We were amazed. We found out back in 1945 how advanced they were. There were so many fighters, and you know, they actually, you know, Germany invented the first stealth fighter. They had plans to make another one that was a stealth long-range bomber. You know, so it's kind of scary stuff to think about. But anyway, totally off topic right there. I just want to say that I really hope if any of the devs are watching, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope I'm doing quite well in saying thank you for your hard work, making a beautiful game. I will have to tell you guys that though, you know, it's World War II. I would like to see more tanks on both teams, like 3 or 2. 3 would probably be too much to even ask, seeing that you can get 3 on the field anyway by calling in the squad. I wouldn't want to call it a skill streak, you know, kill streak, but That's what it kind of sounds like, you know. The squad leader can call in another tank, so, you know, I wouldn't mind having 3 tanks on both teams. That would be, to me, would be more fun in a maze and more historically, like, you know, accurate in somewhat way, because, you know, World War II was a crucial tank war. There were so many famous tank battles that had hundreds of tanks and thousands of tank battles, not including with the infantry involved at all. You had the Battle of El Alamein, you had the Battle of Kursk, Stalingrad area had tanks in it. You know, a lot of things like the Bocage country going towards Arikor.
Awesome.
There's so many big tank battles. The battle towards Germany, huge tank battles were there. And the Battle of Kursk was one of the largest tank battles. I mean, I would just, because it's World War II, I would rather like to see 4, 3, or 2 tanks on either side of the team. That would be pretty great. I'm not including the ones that you can order with the points you earn as squad leader. But anyway, that's something I ask. I know that's asking too much, and I really hope you all enjoy this video. I'm Artemis HD. I'll see you all later on the battlefield.